Hey, my name is Vishwendra. I look after solutions and innovation at PhiX. And today, I wanted to share a quick overview on the latest innovation from Salesforce Revenue Cloud called Dynamic Revenue Orchestration, or DRO for short. As we've known, right, in the world of manufacturing and high tech, the order fulfillment is a time consuming and a very complex process, which involves multiple systems in the form of multiple ERPs. We have seen large manufacturers operating on different versions of ERPs, even different ERPs in different legal entities, different regions, which means that, if they are sort of fulfilling a product or an order in one region versus another region, right, there are complexities because there are different systems involved. Also, when we look at a complex order for manufacturers, you will see that it consists of hardware, it consists of services, which could be installation, training, delivery, and also softwares, right, that are going in as subscriptions. It could be maintenance contract, which are subscriptions. So because of the multiple types of products that are involved, the fulfillment also becomes complex because of timelines of the activities that needs to be performed. You can't kick off your installation services before you have your product delivered. You can't kick off your training services before you have your installation done, right? So the timeliness of these activities pose another challenge for organizations to fulfill their orders. And what it leads to is, right, incomplete and inconsistent order status update. And believe me, even in 2024, the most widely asked questions to the customer service team is, where is my order? And especially for these large corporations where there are multiple systems involved, it's very difficult to sometimes provide a comprehensive update to your customer in terms of where the order is. And then we have also seen use cases where there is dual entry needed, right? Dual entry needed because you have systems which are not connected to each other, and therefore you have operations team which are keying in, right, punching in data from one system to another to fulfill, right, the order end to end. And that's where dynamic revenue orchestration comes in, which actually acts as a bridge between your sales system and your fulfillment systems. And it does two important things, which are highlighted in pink here. First, it helps with order decomposition, right? We want to make sure that we keep our sales system as simple as possible so that sales people as well as customers sees information which is commercially important, and not really bombard the code with all sorts of details which are only relevant from a fulfillment perspective, such as we will see in the demo, how a hardware product is very simple when it comes to quoting, but decomposes into a larger order for fulfillment. And then also not just decomposing a product into its bill of materials, but also taking one sales order and decomposing into multiple fulfillment orders so that you can send them to different fulfillment systems. For example, your hardware might go through Microsoft Dynamics, right, or SAP for fulfillment. However, your services go through Salesforce for execution. And then being able to orchestrate those fulfillment orders, which means that sending them at the right time to the right systems so that you have a plan of how your order is going to be fulfilled that not only lays out how it will be fulfilled, but also provides an overview to fulfillment coordinators or to the customers in terms of where their order is at a given point in time, right? So visual representation of what that fulfillment journey looks like is what is also provided by DRO. And then, of course, it sends to those different fulfillment systems, which leads to the completion of the order. And we will see that in action where we have different fulfillment systems involved. Let's dive right into the demo.